shout out to Dave for this yoga mat. This thing has been yeah, I just want to get that out the way. I'm sorry. That's fire. Anywho, I conveniency is killing you. Yes, it's true. Conveniency is supposed to be a temporary measurement, something to be used for temporary, has been exchanged for a lifestyle. And that shit is killing you, bro. Or brolette. For real, hear me out. I think you already know it too as well, man. We've exchanged nature for artificial living. And artificial living is a bit of an illusion. And this illusion, if you get lost into this illusion, you start to lose your mind. And you start to go against the very thing that is helping to keep you alive, which is the human body, for which we require the human body to have our experience and collect data to return back to us when we transition or phase out of the human body into our energetic bodies. But damn, that was a mouthful, excuse me. Oftentimes I just flow like the river. There's no thinking in these things, I don't plan. That's why my videos are so much of a gap, because I'm in no rush. I'm an immortal being. I have all the time in the world. In fact, I exist outside of time. So therefore, you will receive what you will receive on divine timing. Always, But yeah. Conveniency is killing us, bro. It's killing us in a manner that you just can't see it, because it's designed in a way that you're not supposed to see it. It's very subtle. It's an underlying thing. It's like a subtle frequency, right? But a subtle frequency that's sucking you, that's sucking the life out of you. So hats off to the beings that have designed this and put this, But these beings comprise of the same energy that I am. The difference is that they're very parasitic in their nature, while me, the originator, is already it's an original state, natural being, But for example, let's get going. Breathing. Breathing. Majority of people breathe like a dog. They breathe from their chest. What the heck? It's work to actually breathe. You start from the belly, You start from the belly, then the abdominal, finally the chest, then through your throat, and into the head. And it circulates right back down, right? 4 places of breath that it needs to pass through in order for you to be rejuvenated with prana, with life. But some way, somehow, we've been fooled into breathing bare minimum, Just keeping the body alive at this bare minimum state, bare minimum conscious, to the point that you are essentially unconscious. And the subconscious is what's really, really keeping things going. And oftentimes you slip from consciousness. Man, it's crazy. My other video, I talked about sleeping on the bed opposed to sleeping on hard floor. The bed is killing you, right? It's killing your body. It's sucking you away from being able to stand properly, lower back problems, not enable you to release from the body. It doesn't teach you any of these things when you sleep on the bed, opposed to sleeping on the floor. You can automatically, immediately feel the effects. You're being able to release yourself. No tension, no stress, and actually let go and continue your journey on to the astral realm. Insane. Hospitals and medicine, modern day medicine particularly, people don't want to rely on their bodies anymore to do the healing. It's self-sufficient. It is alive. It is its own entity, and we have to respect this being. It's been operating in a particular way for a very long time, whether you were conscious of it or not. It is the ego that ends up flipping things inside out with the help of outside forces that are benevolent in its design and its ways, you know. But the moment you do turn inward and see what the body really needs and what it's been saying, then you start to relinquish control, right? You start to move by faith because the body is all knowing. So therefore it's capable of teaching you what is actually correct and what is not correct. Same way how we found out about breathing or the right posture, right? It's never a fixed posture. Oftentimes we're moving and it's very subtle, but your consciousness and awareness have to notice, right? It has to see these things and it has to feel it. You are inside this environment that is called the body first before we are in our external environment. So you should probably learn it, isn't it? Right? Nevertheless, these medicines are more of a suppressant. They suppress the system in our bodies and take over the healing when in reality it doesn't do the healing at all. It suppresses and it creates blockage and it's blocking and blocking and it leaves you reliant on the medicine itself and not the body, which is all-knowing and supreme intelligence. The best advanced technology there is the human body. But if you don't know that and if you're not aware of that, then you will continue to lean on a system that is sapping your life slowly but surely. Insane. We have these convenience stores, corner stores. Yeah, conveniency, right? To get your products and food immediately. It's at the corner, but you won't find any life there. You know, majority of the time you won't find any life there. Crazy, isn't it? I may find an apple, I may find a banana, and they may or may not have seeds in them, but for the majority of the time, you will find just products with a barcode, right? That is man-made, and because it is man-made and created by particular people who are superficially greedy and also world domination-ish, then, you know, these products that we end up buying and consuming, they don't really benefit us at all. They are slowly killing us. Yeah? But if you return to your natural state of being, which is living off the land, plant your own food and waiting with the seasons and the cycles and knowing when to do and when not to do, you start to realign yourself, right? It's a realignment process. The ancestors did it and they were perfectly fine. Hell, they built pyramids and all type of monuments that match the cycles of the skies. How do you do such a thing? By living in the natural world, by being conscious of your environment, not only inside, but also outside as well, as above, as below. These messages will continue to be regurgitated because we need to be continually reminded, right? Remember yourself, reattach yourself back to the totality of source. As it split itself in infinite manners, we also try to climb ourselves back into where we have come from. Essentially, this is what it's all going through, whether you know it or not. You know, as we expand our consciousness, expansion is really returning. Maybe, maybe not. You tell me in the comments below what you think, you know. Hey. But yeah, man, conveniency. Sitting on a chair. Majority of our societies sit on a chair, and we do it for a very long time. And you know what that does to your back? You know what that does to your body? It weakens it, essentially. Your back is compressed. That's why you have lower back pains. Your legs, you're not using them. They're essentially just dead, sitting there. It's as if they don't even exist. So you stand up, walk around, sit back down again, and then finally lay down on the bed. Do you see where this is going, right? It's particularly designed. Meanwhile, our ancestors back in the day simply just, you know, squatted. We simply just squatted, you know? And squatting is a resting position, essentially, because you're resting your spine, and particularly it's able to catch its breath. That's what the squat is for. Does this look familiar? Hold on, let me. Our beloved hero that is named the Spider-Man does this particular squat, doesn't he? Why? These are mudras, by the way. It's quite interesting how consciousness played this game with us. Us as in I as in we as in me as in you. For we are reflections of each other at different rate of frequency. That is all, you know. But yes, consciousness seems to like to play this game because we have all time. We have immortality to get it together. Like I said, we're in no rush. I'm in no rush, you know. I'm simply here to analyze and provide different perspectives of things that you may not have seen. Or if you did see it, well, here's another way that you can look at it. Essentially, different perspective is a different frequency and different reality. For one man's trash is another man's treasure. So essentially, we could be looking at something together, and yet this person will see it different opposed to what I see. It's quite fascinating, right? And yet this is the reason for our experience, for the reason for us splitting, that we know that I am, right? It's quite interesting. It's a beautiful thing. And so oftentimes when I see these clues and these hints, I laugh at it, you know, because it's beautiful. It's a very beautiful puzzle to which we are piecing and putting together, right? Nevertheless, the chair, it may seem convenient, but in reality, it is killing you. Use your legs. When you squat, you are using these legs, you know? As the saying goes, if you don't use it, you lose it. Use your arms. Use your toes. Let the toes touch the ground. Oh, speaking of toes, that just brought me another convenience. Shoes. Wow. Shoes. You know, I recently brought my attention to my toes and my shoes, and I noticed that my toes are extremely crushed in together. They're tight, which shouldn't be the case. They should be loose and open like this, because all of my toes, which is connected to my chakra, right? Every part of our bodies have the whole totality within it: the hands, the ears, the face, the nose, your legs, your toes, your foot. Every single portion that can be put in a box has the totality. That's how it was designed. It's a beautiful thing. But yet, nevertheless, shoes. These convenient has been taken over as a lifestyle. And it shouldn't be the case at all, you know? The shoes make our feet very soft, so that when it does touch the ground, we're not able to walk on the ground as firmly as we want to. And so we've been tricked to believe that this is a barbaric way of living out your existence when you want to put foot on the ground, when in reality it is one of the best ways that we should walk upon this earth. One should put shoes on when they are tackling the artificial world, which we call a modern society, right? As the only time. And oftentimes we go into this artificial world to work, and these hours are long hours, 8 hours, and you putting these shoes on and you're working with these shoes on for a long time, whether you're standing or whether you're sitting. The shoes is essentially crushing your feet all together, making them very slim and nimble and useless. I know people who can step on fire and it won't even get burned. How is that possible? Well, they use their feet. They walk on their feet for starters, right? And then the vibrations from the earth help protect their feet, to the point that an outer layer protection starts to form with their skin, right? And this is how they are able to commune with the fire, with the frequencies of the fire, and simply step on it and don't get burned. It is the same way with hands. It is the same way with anything else, essentially, right? You're using it, it gets stronger, it gets used to being used, and therefore in return, it makes you almost impenetrable. You know, it's fascinating. It's very fascinating, but at the same time, unfortunate. You know, these beings were very meticulous on setting these things out, for they had immense amount of time to study our body, to study the human body, and therefore they know how to tackle it in all different directions and manners, right? And sneakily put it into our everyday life in a convenience way, which we end up inverting it into a lifestyle. So therefore, your lifestyle is killing you. Take a look at it, analyze it, see what you can fix, see what you can improve and make better. Bring your awareness to these things that you take for granted, you know? Man, old people, when I see them, oftentimes they have to hunch back their legs. They can't even use it, right? They're walking steady and slow. While meanwhile, I can see the same elder, another one, of course, a higher, better version of that person, standing upright, able to squat, sprint, pull-ups, lift weights, do all type of things. And if you were to ask them, they will probably respond and tell you that they took their health very seriously. They took their consciousness very seriously and became aware about certain things just by paying attention, right? And you're not even paying for anything because it's simply free process. It's a free exchange. When you pay attention, in return, you are given greater health, you know? We used to live for thousands of years. Now, the body merely reaches 65, 55, 45. My goodness, what has happened? Conveniency has happened. Conveniency has replaced our lifestyle. Artificial life has replaced the natural world. For some, not the totality of everybody, otherwise I wouldn't be here, isn't it? Talking about this and bringing light to this, you know, phenomenon that has happened to us. My window is open. The birds are chirping. It sounds like music, but in reality, they're just simply communicating with each other, like how we communicate with each other, which can also be seen as very musical and magical, isn't it? With this language, as we vibrate the air, our prana, it's all magical, you know. It's all magical. Even this experience, reality that we have and that we see, it has become a convenience. They removed the magic from it. They removed the magic from it. But that's why when you come around children, you are simply reminded of what you have been removed from. For they see the world as if it's the first time every single time. And this reminds me of my particular cat, you know, as she lives her extraordinary life with me. I tend to analyze and watch her and observe her. And my goodness, she is free. You know, what a phenomenal teacher. So, because she has taught me so many things. So many things. I don't take anything for granted. You know, I've been able to absorb my present being more into the presence and engulfing into the presence, for it's such a beautiful thing. It is extremely magical. It's overwhelming, it's underwhelming, it's complex, it is simple. And there are so many words that we can use to try to explain it, and yet we can never get too close on its proper explanation because it is meant to be experienced. No matter how much you try to analyze it, you would end up being late and not present. So therefore, just simply experience yourself. Because that's what it is, isn't it? We are experiencing ourselves in different levels of frequencies and dimensions. And it's such a beautiful thing. Let's return to a beautiful lifestyle that is full with emerging factors and not convenience. For convenience is sucking the soul out of you. It doesn't work. The jig is up. Flag on the play. Get it out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, man. Take back your life. Analyze the things that you think or see as a convenience, and really question who put it there. why is it there? What purpose does it truly serve? Because oftentimes, as innocent it may look and seem, it is very malevolent in its design, and particular in the way how it tackles our body and cause a decaying factor to happen. For we decay no more, for consciousness is expanding. And with expansion comes with a lot of knowledge that has always been there. You simply just have to pay attention, isn't it? There are so many other conveniences that I haven't even highlighted. It is weave into our everyday life, you know? So take the long way. It's there for a reason. It's perfect. It's a reason why you would have to kick 1,000 times and then kick 1,000 times more and then keep going. Repetition. The long way is the best way. For the shortcut, you're only killing yourself quickly with a swiftness, you know? Nevertheless, we out. Yeah.